Let's see. To be clear, I should name this reading to be clear. You have boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. They look alike, right? It's like the company that you used to keep or may be keeping. You could be advised to move away from them because they're not coming alone. They're coming with entities attached or monitoring spirits, or they're because they have entities attached. They show up like a monitoring spirit, but they haven't connected those dots. You might know something that they don't. You can have a deceased loved one. When I look at this connection of these cards, keepers of earth, this is an ancestral. You see the woman praying, and then you see the spirit of somebody behind her, and then you say protection. Call back your power. You cut the cords. This is your mother or a deceased woman figure, which really strongly points to a mother. And even if she's not your biological mother, she's a mother figure. She's always took that leadership role with you, breaking the chains. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Just say yes. This is a decision that you just need to say yes about. A long-term commitment, a fulfillment of conviction, a lifestyle, a long-term decision that protects you, that better protects you. Where do we start? I hear speak up and let your voice be heard. With speak, take center stage, speak at events, conferences, and workshops. Share your message and transform lives through your work. Elevate. New mindset, new results. If you're familiar with this deck, it's an entrepreneurial deck. Elevate your mindset if you want to get different results. You're feeling a little reticent about a decision that you feel good about, but you're just not sure. Make an Instacart prayer. If you keep thinking and acting the same way, nothing will change your business. Instacart prayer is a prayer you only make this prayer when you've made a decision either way. Collaborate. Business can be lonely. You find lucrative ways to collaborate with others to build both your brands. It's almost like common sense, and it's interesting because invest, growing wealth is right behind collaborate. But I'm looking at collaborate more intently because investing in yourself to learn and create skills you need. Investing in yourself. That's a self-respect, self-love card. This could be interpreted in multiple ways, but it really just backs up what I mean when I say collaboration. You learn yourself through other people. You don't just have to learn yourself by yourself, which takes an unlimited amount of time. Because you're cutting out the fluff. You're cutting out the middlemen. You're cutting out a lot of unnecessary social networking, if you want to nickname it that. You're cutting it out. You can learn how to find and direct your ideal person or client and customers to your offers. You want to direct customers to what you stand for, what you're about. You as a person, because the best way to take off selling is your authenticity. Don't go after trends. So if you have a website, you have content, you have social media channels, or anything you offer, you want to grow wealth, to grow that wealth, to cut out the middlemen, collaborate. I feel like you found your collaboration, the perfect collaboration. Do I need to say it like that? You did, and you didn't need to speak game. Y'all just look like game on the surface. Funnel. I remember I used this card to describe a sales pitch, to describe funnel like somebody's running game. Create a dynamic customer experience that nurtures prospects to become paying clients, to build a simple sales funnel. Someone look at you like that. Like, you speak facts, but it's ran by game. And then you got strategy behind it. This could be Seven of Swords in a good way, not the negative, scary way where someone's lying, deceiving, or deceiving or cheating. This could have been you at one time in your life, where you could have ran game on people with ill intent, but you're just being yourself. So you have wittiness. You're catchy. Like, whatever you say pops, or who you're connecting with, how they are, they pop. They have a way with words, and they get what they want. It's not hard to get what they want. They can sell somebody in under 30 seconds. You can sell somebody in under 30 seconds. Results are not coming in fast enough. You need a solid step-by-step strategy in place that takes the guesswork out of growing your business. All of this is speaking up. Let your voice be heard. You tell your truth, direct and concise. You don't have to sell yourself anymore, is how I feel about this. And then what's interesting behind this is, behind the Elevate card is a mastermind. This is what I'm talking about. Join a community of entrepreneurs who can give you the love, support, and feedback you need to achieve your goal. You see how they fist pounding each other and give back. Someone is giving you free game. That's their way of giving back, because they in a space of humility. They want to right, not so much right their wrongs, and I don't say that from like in a way where they're speaking from a space of guilt riddance. I say that from a space where they are genuinely choosing to be a good person. So you donate to your community or the causes that are close to your heart, and it creates an energy of abundance around you and your business. Somebody's smart, just like you, and they're making smart decisions just like it. Just go for it. You see how that jar says just go for it. This is an advice. Side note, if you work for someone, make sure you pay yourself before you pay your bills. You see that jar that says go for it? I don't know if you can see it that well on the camera. Make sure you pay yourself. Put a certain amount of your money away for yourself, because you work for it. So pay yourself first before you pay your bills. So put all that together. You could be on the fence about something you know to be true. So what are you waiting for, kind of thing? Just say yes. Okay? Whoever you need to cut off, cut them off. And your ancestors, you could have saw your family come up to you in the form of a dream, or you just have an intuitive nudge. Ultimately, when I see this combination of cards, I heard Doja Cat, demons, how my demons look. And it don't mean literal demons. And it's interesting that her song popped in my head, because the card says I express my creativity. And it has no ceilings, it has no floors. It's deeper than an abyss. It's more widespread than an abyss. You know what an abyss is? My unique and creative talents and abilities flow through me and are expressed in deeply satisfying ways. My creativity is always in demand. And then you got fixed. If you think about what these two cards, if you have this deck, I'm just going to tell you what these cards. Fixed is if you want to go by zodiac, your fixed signs would be your Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus. But those are the energies: stability, persistent, loyalty, and dependability. You're going to move forward no matter who's a naysayer. And then you got square. That's what's backing it up. A challenging situation, a mountain to climb. People tried everything in their grandmother's favorite recipe to slow you down, to stop you, to blackball you, to make you feel like you are not it. Because when you think about square, for example, I'll hold it up when I read you what square means for those who don't know. A square occurs when two planets sit 90 degrees away from one another. And this is the most challenging dynamic to work through, because it implies both an internal and external struggle. There are not only energetic blocks, but obstacles experienced in this world. It's vital to identify and support the square in a chart, because if abandoned, this aspect can become a dooming, self-fulfilling prophecy. Internally, squares create feelings of confusion and conflict, even paralysis in their energetic realms. You think about paralysis, that could be emotional, physical, mental paralysis. It means you're stuck. And these blocks are magnified by outside events which seemingly conspire to reinforce the challenge. So understandably speaking, you might feel destined to fail in the face of a square, but you must persevere with courage. The journey through the sludge becomes your greatest teacher and leads to even greater rewards. And while squares require lifelong nurturing and working with their energy, you discover your biggest opportunities for growth, achievement, and alchemy. So the energy is very challenging, but the experience is like a mountain to climb. So what is the omen? You're being called to deepen your strength and perseverance through a challenge you face. Remain present through the painful moments and ask, what are you here to show me? No shortcuts, no easy way out, no falling back into old familiar habits. You're being summoned to rise up. This challenge won't be here if you weren't strong enough to face it. This perspective doesn't deny the discomfort you endure, and it only asks you to look beyond it and consider how it can teach you and how it can change you. So if you can practice seeing beyond the physical reality of everything, there's always some kind of nectar buried beneath the sludge. I'm trying to tell you to use this realization to expand your trust in your life, especially if you find yourself in very trying times. And this is like giving me that fixed energy. So that would be the Taurus energy, that fixed energy. Like, but I also see the integrity, the reverence, the self-service, the self-love. Take back what doesn't require, that's not in alignment for you. Like you could be coming from a space of good intentions, but if it's slowing down what you ultimately are trying to do, that aggression is there for a reason. You're trying, not like physical harm aggression, but that aggression in you, that fight in you, that fire, that bite in you. Regardless, if you're trying to branch out on your own and stop working for people, you're trying to boost your own creative endeavors is what I'm trying to say. You're trying to boost your creative endeavors. You're trying to stand on your own 2 feet. Sometimes you have to travel to other continents. There are many artists that traveled to Paris that came from the deep parts of the South that made it big because the United States just was not rocking with them until they went to Paris and got big. And then it's like the United States want to jump on the bandwagon. It's like, oh, I see a big artist coming from Paris. No, I just came from South Carolina somewhere. I just came from any part of the South somewhere. I just came from Louisiana, Florida, Texas, you name it. I came from the deeper part. I came from Alabama. I came from Mississippi, Tennessee. You get the point. Now you're just now rocking with me because I've been in Perry and they recognize, they don't judge. They recognize my wave. You didn't take off until you went to a space of non-judgment. If you maneuver anywhere, or you're going to maneuver somewhere, or being led to think about other spaces where all are welcome. This ring speaks to me. I don't know why. It's just speaking to me. I'll put it on my finger. It just speaks to me. In a way. It's a black rose. So we're going to rock with that. Anyway. Is there anything else? Fixed. Do I want to read anything about fixed? If it resonates so far, like, share, subscribe. When you talk about fixed signs, the energy about fixed signs is about stability. It's about persistence, loyalty, and dependability. The spirit is you want to get a rhythm down and secure and established flow. You're finding your rhythm in your newfound space, but it seemed like you haven't made the decision all the way. You know that you should, but you may you haven't, and this is why your ancestors or God is showing you in the form of a dream what you need to do. I'm the one that's helping you, so you can say yes. Don't sit on the fence when I'm pushing you. And then it's like you get to a point where you're too stubborn to move, or taking a little while longer than you should to move. He'll start moving things around to make you make a certain decision that you're afraid to make. So you want to clarify your intentions and remain patient with your process of becoming. And you're moving forward with that radical conviction, and then you trust that even that which seems chaotic and or wrong, just wrong as 2 left shoes into your story. You see what I'm saying? You got to release control, and still, while still showing up for yourself every day. You might be being led by an example. The most stubborn, fixed of all stubborn, is not being so stubborn about what they know works. You can know something, a systematic approach works. Well, guess what? Now you or that person is abandoning that governed systematic approach. Now you're building something new from nothing, and you're unafraid. You have no resources because you're working. You're building from a solid foundation. So all you have is each other. All you have is God. You don't have things like you once did, because you can feel like they're being siphoned or drained or depleted of you, away from you, because you don't need those cracks. Those create cracks. It's like eating sugar and not brushing your teeth. You're asking for your teeth to rot and just break down into a cavity and just crack or something. That's common sense, right? So that's what this is. It's like the resources that got you to this point, whatever your source of survival was, it's irrelevant now or obsolete. Maybe it's even bringing home ec tools to geometry class at this point. You don't need them. And I didn't even notice the Council of Light is here. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. So that illustrates my point when I'm talking about the card that says just say yes. Break the chain. I feel like one of you or both of you or a group of you, at least 1 to 3 people have broke ancestral patterns, or you're going to have people are going to you're going to build a community of your own, even though it's 3 people here. but it's just one person. Just say yes. It's gonna be three of y'all ultimately. Could be a sibling. I don't know who it is, but nonetheless, even in this entrepreneur card, where is it at? It said it has three people. So three, 1 to 3 people. It started with one and you end up with three. And y'all gonna build something. And y'all gonna speak out on it, and you're gonna let your voice be heard. Some people are scared to be public speakers. You may not. You may be the missing piece, the missing mass to the conglomerate, and you're gonna start speaking publicly to further push the creative endeavor. All that came from these 3 cards right here. So that is your message with these cards as it pertains. I can keep going because I feel like talking. I feel like swords energy, communicate. Like you have so much to say, like you've been muted or something like that. And then when I'm gonna stop though because I have to read the other cards too, and I have to get going. We can further amplify on this a little bit later, maybe. But then with this, you have the South Node came out in reverse. Typically, I don't read these cards in reverse, but it came out in reverse. If the South Node is in reverse, it's destined to release. The South Node is obsolete now. You already hit a rock bottom. You have nowhere to go but up north. Is how I read it, and it also these cards further amplify this card. This is the main message. Like this one was the main message. Doja Cat, demons. Shadowed by this card. That's the first card that popped up. Very green, like how she tantalized all her ideas, and look at her now. This card is nice by the Carters, is what I heard. It's only a thought, and a thought could be changed. Now specifically I'm talking about Jay-Z's verse. And in his verse is like, now you want to indict me now that I'm doing all these miraculous things for other people, when all the dope I sold, all the incriminating stuff I did leading up to creating all that shit was dirty money, but it earned me an opportunity and the resources to start something legit. I washed all that fucking money that I made illegally, and now y'all want to come indict me now that I'm doing something right. And the irony is, you're not indicting me for something I did illegally back in '89. You're indicting me for something I'm doing correct. Oh, it's your time to. Oh, what is it? You're reminding me that I'm black again. I'm talking back too much. I'm too arrogant. Like, listen to that verse. The name of the song is called Nice. It's like all the shit I did to get to this point. Now you want to indict me? So I am not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts. Oh, sorry, I thought my camera was doing something wonky. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and new ways of looking at my world, and I'm willing to change and grow. Okay, first of all, you have the South Node in reverse, and then you have Saturn, which is feeling restricted, experience struggle, learn hard work. So what that speaks to me when I listen to his verse and this combination of cards is like, I said something about breaking generational curses. I said something about not having your family. I don't. This is like an energy where I don't raise my family upon the same welfare benefits that I came from, or may have been forced into because of certain decisions made, and certain lifestyles inflicted on me. That's beyond my control. So you could have grew up under parents that had substance abuse problems, and it changed your life for the worse. It dragged your character, it dragged your spirit, your self-esteem, it dragged you through the mud in more ways than a person could want to get into. But it's true. But those things happened, and it made you a star. Like, you chose to be a star about it. You didn't choose to keep perpetuating that same cycle. You didn't choose to stay in the projects. You didn't choose welfare benefits. You didn't choose to work for anybody. It still goes back to that entrepreneurial spirit. I can do anything. What would you do if you know that you couldn't fail? I'm just anything that I put my mind, anything that I want to do, I'm damn good at it. I'm going to be the best at it, type of thing. What did you have to cut off to get to that space? You know what you need to do. You could be around people who are backed up by fear, who are backed up by Satan, and he keeps them comfortable in that fear-based decision making. It's like, that's not me. I don't answer to nobody. Even if you took your life is in a space where you're being tried. It's a trial and tribulation permitted by God, right? So you could be used to having things at your expense, anything you want, and now you're being afflicted with a limited way of doing things. Like, I know I got to pay these bills, but now I don't have much left over. So it goes back to it kind of connects with that first message I said, where you met those those ways of survival or those ways of doing things are being siphoned from your newfound solid foundation, where you don't need those things anymore. You've outgrown the space. So now that entrepreneur spirit is kicking in full throttle. So you're in a pivotal space where if you can look in the mirror as a consenting adult and say, I can go back. I can either go back and just go with what's comfortable, what I know doesn't work for my spirit, but works in terms of survival because I know it's safe, it's predictable. Or I can connect, I can accept and surrender to that entrepreneur spirit, all that has done to me, and it created a certain animalistic, fearless, brave human being, and I can go do anything I want to do. Like if I want to go make shoes tomorrow, I can make shoes. If I want to make music and haven't sung in 20 years, guess what? I'll get a vocal coach and start singing again. If I sing God's praises, anything that you want to do, you can do it. It's like you're being faced with a reality that, what are my options? My options is stay comfortable at this pivotal point, or finish what I started. Finish what you started. And you never had a doubt in your mind before, like, what if, just because you're met with afflictions and conflict and things like that, it shouldn't have to be this hard to live type of thing. And it's irritating and it causes resentments if you stay in it. Well, guess what? That stubbornness, that fixed energy, that stubbornness, and that work ethic, that you could have been met with options where this one looks pretty, it looks stable, but this motherfucker asks permission. Versus this person don't look like they have a lot, but they don't ask permission. They go out and get it. So you can accomplish more. What speaks to your spirit, or what speaks to your ego? And someone could be making a decision based off that, and you're also making a decision where, you know what? I started this shit, I'm not turning back. You don't know what's going on around you. It felt like a chaotic storm around you, but really it's just external resources that need to be cut off. Whether it's somebody connected to you or people around you, you're feeling it, but you're picking it up. It's like, I don't want anybody inflicting fear in me. If you don't do this bad shit is going to happen to you, or you're going to be struggling forever. If you're going to have blood, sweat, and tears regardless, you might as well have your own thing. That's somebody's mindset, and the other person would be the opposite. And somebody made a decision. It's like, well, I ain't never been scared before. Why would I be scared now? Someone is just knowing that someone ultimately, they may be okay, but they don't really speak to your spirit as this entrepreneurial spirit is, because you're an entrepreneurial spirit too. I hope I clarified that shit correctly. So that is, I can keep going with that message too. So basically you hit a rock bottom where you only have to face your north node. If you was trying to understand why things were happening the way that it was, yes, it's supposed to teach you patience. Yes, it's going to teach you have a strong work ethic. You already have a resilience about yourself where you can persevere through anything. But is this it? You are afraid. You maybe an ounce of fear could have been afflicted, or you could have gotten to a weird space in your own mind where it's like, have I hit a plateau? Is this all there is? Was that the best I got? And the answer is no. Clearly. And God knows best. He's showing you, you just don't need those tools anymore to keep going. So you can let those go. This could be people, places, and things, and a mindset. Erase that shit. Like, you don't have to worry about feeling like you screwed up or about something. Just keep going. Because an entrepreneur really thinks like, if the economy's bad, we just adjust the numbers. We don't think we have to close our business. And then the people who did that, they just want the money grab. So they cool with what they got. That doesn't speak to you. You got more to offer. You may not be done, speaking your mind. So you're called to keep on going. And finally, that's the gist of that. So finally, I got this. I deserve the best. I got 2 for this message. I deserve the best, and I accept the best now. And I am mentally and emotionally equipped to enjoy a prosperous and loving life. I didn't have to read it like that. It is my birthright to deserve all good, and I claim the good with this. And then I'm safe. It's only change. It's something that's being blocked off, where you can't stay where you at. You got to keep moving forward. I cross all bridges with joy and ease. The old unfolds into wonderful new experiences. My life gets better with all the time. The reason these go together, because you got a plane and you got a green car right here. Somebody can have a green car of some sort, or a truck, whatever. But this is green and this is green, and this flower is blue and this is blue. You see what I'm saying? So they go together. So this could be two people's struggle space, or just two people's pivotal space where they're making decisions based on it's safe is only change. Someone's asking you to go on an adventure with them, or you're going on an adventure with somebody. It goes back to I can do anything. They all build off each other. Each one is building off each other. This is like from two different people's perspective. Okay, you got house 1 and house 2. That clarifies this. So that's an Aries Taurus energy. Fixed. It goes back to being fixed. Individual self-image and approach to life. That creativity again. So that was a cardinal energy in the beginning too. Even though it was fixed, it came up as, it got cardinal energy here too with the Saturn. But likewise, house 2 is talking about, again, physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. Tangibalizing your value. House 1 is the bravery, the youthful spirit to go out there and just go get it. Just say yes. Somebody's mother figure could have had cardinal placements or something like that. If someone got Aries in their sector, in their way of doing things, that Aries energy, just say yes. Just jump out there. Like, I don't care. Like, I know if it feels good to me, I'm gonna go for it. You know what I mean? You don't have anything to fear. But there was something else I was supposed to say and it slipped my mind. So it'll come back. And it's interesting enough, they're right next to each other. I'm safe and it's only change. Individuality. Do what resonates with you. You can stay in the dream. In the premonition I saw with the parental figure, she's talking. This is a woman talking to a younger woman. First of all, you being single is okay when you need to get yourself together, but there's a such thing as outgrowing that space too. If you're single too long, you start getting passed around. I don't mean by other men, because if you're not with other men, you get passed around through the system because you're a single woman, so you're easily discarded because you're a single woman. That tradition should have never been manipulated or just persuaded away from younger demographic. They do that to trick you into their system so you don't never leave their matrix, their government systematic approach. What do I mean when I say that? If you're with a partner, if you have a husband, you have upper echelon. They look at you different. Even if they don't say it out loud, they legally can't say it out loud, but you're a hotter commodity because you're with a partner. So that somebody values you, and that's tradition. A single woman is a threat to a particular society, not all society. A single woman is not a candidate for anything. They are the guinea pig. They try things on the single woman versus a married woman. In that premonition, the older woman was telling the younger woman why did you ever escape from marriage or escape from the idea of being a partner, being in a partnership? 2 heads is always better than 1. 2 millionaires is better than 1. 2 of everything is better than 1. If you can buy it twice, you can afford it. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to do it all on your own, and it's not to say that you can't, but if you are trying to get somewhere in a timely fashion, common sense would tell you to get a partner. Not like codependence. You're afraid of codependence. Or are you afraid, or have you not dealt with your trauma enough? This is a reprimand by a mother figure, a mother figure that's teaching you game. Don't let nobody trick you out of your value. If you're valuable, you'd be married. If someone wants to marry you and they're going to hold your hand instead of taking from you, then that would be hypocritical if you didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a woman who's you've been out there by yourself for so long, you don't have no help, you're doing it the backwards way, past a certain point. So I'm not dismissing independence. You being independent means you can think for yourself. So you make you trust yourself enough to make smart decisions for yourself. So why wouldn't you feel like you'd be successful with the right partnership? You've been through enough to understand what the right partner looks like and what the wrong partner looks like. So if you're using your common sense, you wouldn't be out there wasting yourself and all your good years by yourself instead of building something substantial, especially if you have children. That's what I got out of this. And on this side is about somebody's value. I like that it says something about self-worth. I deserve the best and I accept the best now. You see what I'm saying? I am mentally and emotionally equipped to enjoy a prosperous and loving life. It is my birthright to deserve all good, and I claim good. Oh, another note. The thing I was about to say about this, passed around, when you say it not necessarily by men per se, even in the workforce. People, places, things, they all have the same hypocrisy. They all carry the same art of persuasion by way of deception, as well as by people. They don't mess with people or look down on people who have a partner or just have upper echelon. A lot of the women that you might see that are insanely successful didn't necessarily get it all from their husband, but they're passed down by generational wealth. If your wealth got stolen from you and you went out there to get it yourself, well, that integrity and that alignment is high octane, high algorithm enough to attract the right partner. So trust yourself. You are safe. Like what I've been saying, that in the gist of this whole entire reading, they all build off each other. So maybe you're breaking down layers of the ego and alchemizing the negative connotations that's been inflicted on you, and the things that's keeping you stuck. You got to realize where you're being stuck, where you're being kept stuck at, and it's not necessarily a bad partner. It's just you being by yourself is making it harder at this point, and it's a reason things are aligning for you in a way where you're supposed to build an army. You can't build an army by yourself. There's no I in team. So you have the best of both. What it sounds like is this woman is reminding you of the other tools that you got. You got fixed energy like your father, but you have cardinal energy like your mother. You see what I'm saying? What about the other stuff? Why don't you infuse the two? You're creative. It's clear you're creative. It's clear you can do a lot by yourself, but don't make yourself a target. Do it the right way. Do it the smart way, and stay in the feminine receptive space where it's safe. Not like codependent, but where it's safe, where you're not supposed to be by yourself past a certain point. And you shouldn't want that for yourself, because that's abusive. You need human contact. So okay, that was that. Now house 2 side with this is telling me this is somebody whose nature could be misused or weaponized against them, and in this case they're being made to see that you're actually well respected, well received, well loved, well cared for, that it wouldn't be a burden on you if you propel forward. If you were to go along with this thing, it does speak to your value and your self-worth, not just because you know it, but the other person is made to know it too, with the council of light here, with people in the spiritual realm. Like you've been praying for this person's been praying for you, and God has been listening. That if you were to tangibilize this thing, this is a person who wants to ground something that they're feeling deep in their chest that they can understand to be true, but they're trying to figure out where all the blockages. They're taking necessary accountability and where they think the blockages are to stop it from being smooth sailing. So they're abandoning a governed systematic approach and taking a new approach on what they want or what they feel like is best for them. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of things that's being woven behind the scenes, in person. This stuff that's being taken accountability for, where I could be better. I could do better. I can have better. To have better, you gotta do things different. That's the definition of insanity, is to do the same thing and expect different results. That goes for both people. So both people is getting an intuitive nudge on what they need to be doing to protect themselves, to call their power back. This is self-value, self-preservation. This person sees that this person respects their ancestors, respects God, respects their ancestors, respects themselves, and they're very protective to the best that they can. But I didn't even see there are 2 cats right here, 2 safari cats right here. So somebody's mother and father could be that way. You speak from a space of raw passion. Somebody who likes to fight. So you get that warrior spirit you might embody. This person recognizes where it might come from. They recognize the spirit of you because they have a like spirit, a very compatible spirit with that warrior spirit they fight to. Now you're being called not to fight yourself about what you know to be true. New mindset, new results. Go for it. So I see you being strong assets in the community. I see you being self-protected, self-preserved. You want to preserve your youth, you got to do things that preserve your youth. So you can't work yourself into the ground. That's part of it. You can still have strong work ethic and work towards your goals, but you're going to do it the smart way, not the hard way. So that's the way the both of you are unplugging together. to make more, to have more, to stand for more. And I even noticed this hands are coming from the realm up here, like it looks like outer space or just the realm. It's gonna be your higher self. You coming out of that south node that's in reverse. It's like there's no more south node. It's been annihilated. It's been annihilated into the smithereens. You're being like, something about you is being risen. How can I say it? I know how it feels, but how can I say it? You're being ascended. You just alchemized a lot of dumb shit that you was attached to that you didn't realize was still siphoning your energy. Like old subscriptions you didn't realize you still was connected to, siphoning your energy. Just cut them off. You don't need them. You don't want them. You're thinking ahead now. You're thinking futuristic. So a lot of things that are traditional, you just cut it out. Tradition is not always a good thing. It's just old habits dying hard in some instances. Whoever you used to be, whatever you used to have to turn yourself into to get things done. You ain't got to turn yourself into anything. You're being your authentic self. Okay, I have to go. If it resonates, like, share, subscribe.